No use. If you do not build your trust in your team, they will not believe you or abide by you. If you do not build trust in your boss or leader, he or she will not believe you. So you have to build trust. And when I say trust, trust is always with honesty, no deception. That trust you have to build and start with yourself first. Can anybody answer? Trust and happiness, are they coterminous? Anybody who says yes? Anybody who says no? None of the answers. So you don't understand what trust is. Trust is not necessarily directly proportional to happiness. No. If you want to make somebody happy, and if you betray the trust and without telling no, you are doing good thing when he or she is doing wrong thing, you still can make happy him momentarily, but ultimately he will not be happy and you will also not be happy. So it is not, trust and happiness are not necessarily coterminous, or they are not necessarily directly proportional. Sometimes they are inversely proportional as well. What you choose? You have to choose trust, not happiness. Right? Same goes with government policies. Same goes with the society. Just imagine that you are fooling your family and they are trusting you, but one day they will come to know that you will be out of their trust and good books. That's what happens. When you have earned the name in the beginning or somewhere in your career that you are not trustworthy, you have lost the plot. That's why you have to build the trust in your team, in your organization, with your colleagues, with the government, with all stakeholders. Building trust is crucial for any leader. As I said, and it is inversely proportional to cost. More trust you want, cost will always go up. For example, as you understand from outside, तुकाराम मुंडेच्या बदल्या होतात. आता ती कॉस्ट आहे का काय आहे, माझ्या दृष्टीने ती बिलकुल कॉस्ट नाही आहे. Because that is not my goal. My goal is to serve, make impact, make change. That's what I look, and that's what a public servant should look like and work like. Your job and your role you understand. I understand. I try to understand my role. You try to understand your role. You can't please everybody. Definitely not. You can't. And you are not supposed to please everybody. What you are supposed to do is the right thing. Create an impact. Growth-oriented culture. That's what you are supposed to do. You have to be honest. So it's not necessarily always the cost and trust will go together. Not necessarily. It's just not some one activity you did one day and you are through your life. No. It is a constant and continuous process. Through your each action, each word, each behavior, it will reflect. Each one. Whether in personal life or professional life. That's why it's a continuous learning process, as I said earlier. So leader have to build. When we say, somebody says that, he's a great guy, he never errs. That's the leadership quality. Because he or she makes it sure that I have to work, talk, behave as if this is my last thing and the first thing. That's where relationship is built with trust. Relation is built with persons. Relationship built with organization. So it's not a singular thing, it happens and happens. Throughout life, you are married to either truth or untruth, and once you derail it, you have lost the plot. So don't lose it. Early on, build it. It has always an element of risk. And this, what I am telling you, very few people will tell you. It has a risk. It has a risk. Because nobody likes to hear no. And as a public servant, you must be ready to say no, yes, whenever required, in right spirit. For public good, not for individual good. As I said, if there is a choice, say for example, popular amongst you always must be somewhere. Supposing there are two choices before you, now, say I was in, Nagpur as a municipal commissioner, and there was a demand for Jumbo Hospital. There was a demand. Jumbo Hospital, Mumbai la zala, Pune la zala, tikde. I said no. So obviously, many of them are really furious. Why not? There's a demand. Government says that if you need it, you can do it. Authority was with the commissioner. Commissioners were given full authority within the municipal limits. Collectors were given in rural limits. I said, no, I don't need it. The counter question, why? We are saying it is needed. There are so many patients. I said, my job and role is to provide services to all the COVID affected people. If and when required, when the present facilities or the facilities which I have built up are not sufficient, then only I will cover jumbo. Till that I am not going for jumbo. Within that, I was the municipal commissioner for almost 6-7 months totally. I joined in January end. I left in August end. February end, COVID came in, so I had 1.5 or 2 months. Health system was in disarray, and some of my meeting video has been viral at that point in time. I was firing my doctors and all those things was there. So I said no. So I actually built 5 hospitals within that 1 month. Structure was there, but hospital not, building was there. Everything from ICU to oxygen to every damn thing we were able to do in 1 month's time. A record break 1 month's time. Why I wanted to do that? Rather than spending on a jumbo hospital, if I spend it and invest in the hospital, that will be permanent. Today, those all hospitals, 5 hospitals are running smoothly. That's what you should be able to say no. It's a risk game, yes. Does it cost? Yet it costs. But what you have to consider is the public cost versus individual cost. I may have lost some goodwill from somebody, maybe those who matter most, maybe their goodwill. But I was able to save hundreds of lives. That is the cost I was ready to pay for it. That's where it's a risk. That's where leadership qualities count there. You should be able to say no, you should be able to take risk for the public good, not for individual goods. That's what I'm saying. You should be able to play this game. Ultimately, read this line carefully. Pint of example equals a gallon of advice. I may be here to say thousands of things today, leadership. आपको लगता होगा ज्ञान दे रहा हूं. You will get hundreds and hundreds of people who will actually give you this gap. Would you trust him as a lecturer or a leader? And would you trust somebody who actually has led by this example? Who will you believe more? Lead by example. That's what you should be. Leading by example. Again, I will give an example because that's a crisis example I am giving. I can give thousands of examples. When I was municipal commissioner, and in the first wave of COVID, because you are dealing with these factors also, in the first wave of COVID, doctors never dare to visit the patients. Camera madun, window madun करायचे आणि मग the front line worker जे PPE घालून तिथपर्यंत जायचे, right? I was the first one to visit ICU of COVID. डॉक्टरच्या डीनच्या अगोदर मी गेलो होतो स्वतः. Yes, it was risky, but I did it. I really wanted to know what exactly is the issue. And then I understood the issues also. I actually interacted with the patients. High risk. When they are ICU, you can understand it's high risk. And many of the fatalities definitely could have been averted because it was really nobody knew what is to be done, particularly in first wave. Nobody knew what is to be done. Because virus was new, nobody knew treatment. It is only whatever it has happened. So it has to be learning by experience only. Negative pressure concept is very much knowing because you are veterinarians. And if you really analyze the deaths of COVID and analyze the time of deaths, you will come to know the morning 2 to 4 is the majority of patients would have died. Just analyze the data, whether in your city or state or world across. Why that time? The storm. You understand the storm? In medical terms. If you don't understand, go and read it. The storm used to happen at that point in time, and mostly this was basically hypoxia cases. Mostly death is because of hypoxia. The storm did happen at that point in time, and nobody was able to attend there at that point in time. Nobody was there. The patient got left without oxygen, hypoxia developed, and that's it. That was the time. Because during night time, automatically your breathing capacity normally goes down because you are asleep. And as it is, COVID attacks your lungs. And during that storm, when this attack comes, there is nobody to attend, you are gone. That's why the death percentage is higher during that time. Could we make difference? Yes, we could. Later on, we learned. So, the second wave, focus on oxygen. That was the focus. And those who focused on oxygen could save more lives rather than the injection which were really used against the advice as well. Right? That's where point of example. Saying no, trust, cost. Just imagine. I'm connecting. I'm not giving you theoretical GAN. I'm actually giving the GAN, but actually you should behave like. And it doesn't mean that I'm giving my example. I'm giving a leader's example. Any leader. You think of it. What will you do in that situation? That's what you should remember this principle. That's what you are supposed to do. Whether you follow or not, that will make a difference between you being a manager or you being a leader. Most important, value creation. Leaders always create value. They don't create followers. First, understand this is the question you must always haunt. 24 hours, 7 months till you die. Why I am put in a particular role? I think I am exceeding my time, but I will take it. Permission hai ki nahi? I will take it because I really, one of the days I actually had to come. I could not, and I actually wanted to deliver a lecture on leadership. I could not, that's why I thought that at least today I will be able to deliver it. So what is needed is question. Why are you put in that role? Role, not job. I have got a job. When you are employed, you think that I need a job. When you need a better job, you need a status. Now I have got a job as well as a status. This much is fulfilled. Now you can go for other your dreams, marrying your dream girl or dream boy, that you can always do. That's part of your life you'll do. Question is, why are you put in this role? Or when you get married, why are you put in that role? Whatever role, as a father, as a brother, as a human being, as an officer, as a leader, what is your role? Ask this question and try to get the answer. If you are able to answer that question, I think you are definitely going to be a good leader. Definitely. Role. Day one also I made, again I am emphasizing. When you say why are you put in that role, you have to understand the expectation as your role from all your stakeholders. For your stakeholder, the most important stakeholder is who? Society, public at large, just not farmers. I will explain later on. Society as a whole. That's the most important stakeholder. Government, other stakeholder, your boss, stakeholder, your colleagues, stakeholder, press, stakeholder. All these are stakeholders. The importance will go down depending on your role, go down and up. But the most important is your society, public. That's the key, because you are a public servant. So whatever office you go, whatever position you work, public remains the center stage of your activity because you are a public servant. What will you do in this case? I am going to assess, department is going to assess your progress on the outcomes, not just on outputs, not just on processes. You have to follow output processes. You have to achieve output. But I and department, which I am reorienting, we are reorienting, outcome oriented, just not output. For 1 month you have been told, next 22 weeks, right? Or 26, 22 weeks, you will learn your role at a district administration, different branches. For the first time happening, but it was important. But that's just the beginning. What is important is multiple stakeholders you have to satisfy. The core being the public and the society. So as in a role, you have to understand the full set of expectations when you are performing a particular role. Being LDO at veterinary dispensary or clinic is one role, but if when you are posted in, say, district office, your role differs, though you are LDO. And if you are posted in a commissioner office, your role differs. Being a deputy commissioner district is one role, but you are putting in a regional joint commissioner office, your role differs. If you are put in commissioner office, your role differs, and if you are put in Mantralaya, your role differs. So you have to understand the full set of expectations of your role. Wherever, whatever time you are, it changes from time to time, it changes from place to place, it changes from position to position. But basic role remains same, public good. You have to change the culture and behavior of not only yourself but the organization as a whole. That's your immune system. If you develop a culture, positive culture, result oriented culture in the office, in the organization, that becomes your defense mechanism. Then you don't need to create artificial things. he or she will tell you, no, automatically it will take care. Right? That culture and behavior you have to develop within your organization. Most important norms you have to cultivate, you have to understand, you have to cultivate. Not only yourself, but the team around you, the office around you. That you need to do it. You have to prevent wrong thinking and wrong doing. Always say, me positive विचार करतो माझा positive होईल. It has a huge meaning. When you say actually you have to act, it means basically you have to think first for that way. I'll do right thing, not wrong. But if you think wrong, you will automatically do wrong things. Because first action starts in your mind, thinking. As you think, so you behave. So you behave, it becomes habit. One thought converts into behavior. The same behavior repeated multiple times becomes habit. Habit becomes culture. Culture means you. That's it. Wrong thinking, wrong behavior, wrong habit, wrong culture, wrong person. Right thinking, right habits, right behavior, right action, right person. Fully no to wrong thinking, wrong action. That's it. Whatever type, in personal, professional life. You 100% cannot delineate personal and professional life. It is integrated. So you cannot be honest in personal life, but dishonest in professional life. Or reverse way. It cannot be. You have to be honest personally, then only professionally you can be honest, otherwise not. So prevent wrong thinking and wrong action. Key norms you cannot, whether you like or not, at your peril. If you shout at your boss, he or she is not going to like it. Even if he or she is wrong, you have to communicate the way it is expected of an officer or a leader. If you behave and violate norms, whether it's a protocol norm, whether it's a behavior norm, whether it's any norm, it is not good for you, that is at your own peril. Do you any time if you feel that you are not belong to that particular place, it means you have not understood the culture of organization or you have not understood your role. Then it means you neither will be able to justice to yourself or to the organization. So, summing up, you will not be able to become a leader in that sector. So, don't show in a way which is unexpected. Never do that. I don't want you to be status quoist. अभ्यास करण्याचं काम नोकरी लागली की सोडून देतो. ॲब्सोल्युटली रॉंग. ॲक्च्युअली अभ्यास इथूनच सुरू होतो. ज्यांनी अभ्यास बंद केला त्यांचा ग्रोथ बंद झाला. तुम्हाला नोकरी लागणं हा जर तुमचा आतापर्यंत ध्येय होता बरोबर होता, पण आता ते माध्यम पाहिजे. युअर सर्व्हिस इज नॉट युअर मीन्स, नॉट युअर एंड. आतापर्यंत होता, जोपर्यंत नोकरी लागत नाही, नोकरी पाहिजे, पगार पाहिजे, घर चाललं पाहिजे, ॲब्सोल्युटली क्लिअर. माझाही तोच होता. पण 21 नोकरी झाल्यानंतर दॅट इज नॉट अ गोल. देन गोल इज समथिंग डिफरंट अँड युअर गोल इज पब्लिक सर्व्हिस बिकॉज यू आर अ पब्लिक सर्व्हंट. सो यू कॅनॉट बी स्टेटस क्वो जे आहे तसं. नो वे. आय डोंट एक्सपेक्ट माय ऑफिसर्स and young officers like you to be status quoist. You have to be changing all the time, making changes. Sometimes organization will put you in a different position, or you will put somebody in organization in different position. You will be able to cope it. Yes, get ready for that. You have to prepare for the worst. Then only you will come out to flying colors, otherwise not. And if you are not able to get the inputs from below or not hearing, then you are not developing the system where you can really make a difference or impact. You have to get feedback. You have to be open door policy you have to develop. Whether it's from the farmers, colleagues, seniors, juniors, press, everybody. Let the information, let the knowledge come in. Think it over, process it, and do the right thing. Make the right choices. Don't go for short term. Always think of long term. And in the long term strategy, you have to think of short term gains. And then only you will feel autonomy. If you feel that there is a pressure, no. If you really take it positively, because if somebody is telling that this is to be done, you have to understand his or her expectations. And if you think that right is wrong, you have to be able to convey that it's wrong. It will not help you. That is what the role of leaders is. That's why nurturing long-term view is much more important than just opening short-term. And long-term view will definitely help in opening up long-term perspectives for you and the organization as a whole. So in the process, who are your stakeholders? Who has the power to influence on you? Those are your stakeholders. Whose support is crucial, as I told you, right from public, your colleagues, your boss, your press, your politicians, government, all support is crucial. At least there are 5 elements which I will explain who are important for you. And if you understand, out of 5, it's very difficult to. तुम्ही बाहेर जा, एवढा इम्पॉर्टंट फोन आहे, बाहेर जा. एसदा मध्ये काम करता का बाहेर करता? कुठल्या? तुमच्या ऑफिस मध्ये इथे तुम्ही ड्युटी करता का काय करता? फोन घ्या तो त्यांचा, कॉन्फिस्केट करा. So you need the support of your all stakeholders. How do you get their support? By doing the right things. Don't try to just please them for the sake of getting their support. It will not last long. TV इथे बंद होणार आहे इथे? नाही हो, त्याला ओके कुठे याच्यामध्ये? ओके कुठे? ओके याच ओके स्क्रीन करा, क्लिक कुठे जात आहे ते बंद होईल ना. So there are multiple stakeholders, just not office, and just not your boss. You need collaboration, you need coordination. At your own you can't do it, and you have to be able to navigate in different situations. These are all yours. Who are the stakeholders? As I told, public or society at large. Media, you need their support, you just cannot antagonize them. Colleagues, you require their support for results, team effort. Reporting authority or bosses, politicians, all these are your stakeholders which you must take into account while performing your work. When you join, you need to think of low-hanging fruits because everybody likes results. Your boss likes leaders, public likes leaders, colleagues like leaders, everybody likes results. So, look at the quick intangibles which you can provide. Pendency दूर करा. Tagging पर राहिलेले पटकन दूर करून टाका, tagging करून टाका. People will be happy. तुमच्याकडे येणारे जे आहेत जनावर त्यांना ट्रीटमेंट चांगले द्या. लो हँगिंग फ्रूट काही करण्याची गरज नाही. बेनिफिट द्यायचे राहिलेत, पैसे द्यायचे राहिले त्याला बेनिफिट इमिजिएटली देऊन टाका जो एलिजिबल आहे त्यांना. हे रिपोर्ट पाठवला इमिजिएटली पाठवून टाका. वरिष्ठांकडून रिपोर्ट मागितले 4 दिवसात, तुम्ही 2 दिवसात पाठवा. ही विल बी प्लीज्ड. लो हँगिंग फ्रूट्स, व्हेरी इझी. थिंक ऑफ दॅट while going to the field. When you are starting to work as say LDO, what I can do? Early gains. That's the most important thing. Momentum. ते सुरू झालं, लो हँगिंग फ्रूट घेतलं तर मोमेंटम तयार करा. राईट? I need to do right things. Quick, fast, efficient. By this way you build your credibility. You have to build your name. When I say name, credibility, it means credibility as an officer, as a leader, as a person. Okay, this is a good officer. अरे नाही तो करप्ट आहे. क्रेडिबिलिटी. अरे तो ऑफिसलाच येत नाही, तो दारू पिऊन. क्रेडिबिलिटी, गुड ऑर बॅड. रिझल्ट ओरिएंटेड. अरे नाही तो खूप कडक आहे, आणि तो हिमशिकल आहे. Credibility, good or bad. You have to build right credibility. The moment you come into service, accelerate learning. You are at a particular level. As I said, learning has to start from here. You have to speed it up. You just don't have 100 years. You have limited time. I have limited time. Your learning has to grow faster than your age and days. Go for deeper changes in the organization, which is next 50 years. मगा जे बोलताना सांगितलं की 2013 ला ऐकलं, विभागातले लोक सांगू शकतील. 1984 पासून आहे, ऍक्ट 1984 चा. महाराष्ट्र शासनाने 1 ऑगस्ट 1997 ला अडॉप्ट केला. 2004 ला रिऑर्गनायझेशन झालं, आणि आय एम टोल्ड दॅट असं सांगितलं होतं की 2020 पर्यंत टप्प्याटप्प्याने हे सगळ्या वेटरनरी डिस्पेन्सरी ग्रेड 1 केल्या जातील असं सांगितलं होतं. एकही झाले नाही. अडचणी होत्या का? येस. त्या अडचणी माझ्यासमोर होत्या का? येस. प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्विंग कॅपॅसिटी, ability. That's where your job is to solve the problem. It's doable. Why? Accelerate learning. Think what is required. If this is to be done, then what can I do? How I can mobilize resources? What support I needed? मग फायनान्स डिपार्टमेंटचा सपोर्ट पाहिजे, मला मिनिस्टरचा सपोर्ट पाहिजे, मला अधिकाऱ्यांचा सपोर्ट पाहिजे, मला टेक्निकलचा सपोर्ट पाहिजे, मला प्लॅनिंग डिपार्टमेंटचा सपोर्ट पाहिजे. हाऊ टू गेट देम ऑन बोर्ड? स्टेक होल्डर्स. आणि फायनान्सचा डिपार्टमेंट म्हणजे त्याची नॉर्म आहे, रूल आहे की जेवढ्या पोस्ट आहे त्याच्यावरची पोस्ट क्रिएट करायच्या नाही, हा नॉर्म आहे. तरी आपण 6,600 पासून 15,700 पर्यंत करून घेतलं. त्याच फायनान्स डिपार्टमेंट. दिस इज द प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्विंग ॲबिलिटी यू हॅव टू बिल्ड अप. का? यू हॅव टू हॅव नॉलेज. डीपर चेंजेस इन द ऑर्गनायझेशन आता जे दिसतंय तुम्हाला पद, ते डीपर चेंजेस नाही. डीपर चेंजेस त्याच्या पुढचे जे की उद्या मी यांना सांगणार आहे. उद्या सगळे राईट फ्रॉम कमिशनर पासून ते असिस्टंट कमिशनर पर्यंतची पूर्ण एक दिवसाचं वर्कशॉप याच्यावरतीच मी बोललेलो आहे. आणि ते इथंच असणार, इथेच आहे ना, इथेच असणार आहे. मला पुढच्या 50 वर्षात काय करायचं आहे, मला म्हणजे ऑर्गनायझेशनला, दॅट्स वेअर द स्ट्रक्चर चेंजेस त्याचा वरचा पार्ट आहे. याच्यामुळे जे चेंजेस मला अपेक्षित आहे ते पुढच्या 50 वर्षामध्ये सेक्टर कुठं जाईल हे त्याच्यातून आपण डीपर चेंजेस देते. दॅट्स व्हॉट यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू डू. बट फॉर टू डू दिस यू नीड केपेबिलिटीज अँड स्किल्स. व्हॉट आर दोज? Underline. What you got here will not take further. तुम्ही BVSC झाला, MPSC परीक्षा पास झाला, ते नॉलेज ते नीटपर्यंत आणलं. इथून पुढे जाण्यासाठी ते नॉलेज तुम्हाला सफिशियंट नाही आहे. नेसेसरी आहे बट नॉट सफिशियंट. हा तुमचा बेस आहे. नाव यू हॅव टू स्टार्ट लर्निंग डिफरंट थिंग्स. राईट? अनलेस यू डू दॅट, you will not go, you will remain here, and I don't want anybody of you to remain here, or you also don't want to remain here. You want to grow. Comfort zone trap मध्ये जाऊ नका. That's the biggest problem. मी झालो now automatically मला प्रमोशन भेटतील, anyway I am going to become joint commissioner or blah 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 blah. That's not your growth. You have to trap a compound growth of yourself and compound growth of the society. That's what your aim should be. For that you need skills, capabilities, and that you need to develop. What are those? You require personal development, you require self-management, it has consistency, it has choices, it has credits. That is accumulated. It's just not one-off momentum. It's not just a singular thing. It's a process. And it is accumulated. Good, bad, ugly things are accumulated in your account. That's what you need to do. Culture of excellence. Famous dialogue Amir Khan, right? Excellence के पीछे भागो. That's what it is. Don't go for ordinary things. Right track to be chosen for your growth, transition, and you have to go beyond yourself. Remember always this. Most of us try to be yourself. You have to challenge your own limits. When I say go beyond yourself, it means you have to challenge your own limits, and that's how you improve your limits. Surpass the limit as you have today, make it higher tomorrow. Still higher day after, and horizontal. So vertical and horizontal growth, you have to excel. That's where you have to challenge yourself every day. For that matter, you require authenticity, absolute humility, and above all, courage. If you do not have courage, you will not challenge yourself, you will not say no, you will fall in that trap of comfort. And if you once fall in a comfort trap, there is no going back. Attitude, result oriented, growth oriented. आता मी ऑफिसर झालोय, मला कोणी काही बोलायचं नाही, मी बघतो काय करायचं ते. You and me are just public servants, civil servants. Develop that attitude of being a civil servant. Underline civil. Okay? Planning. You need to plan strategically, very, very clearly. Learn change management. There will be changes, as I said, organization changes, भरपूर changes होत राहते. Times are changing, so you have to change your skills as well as. Change management is an organization, change management of yourself and society as a whole. Innovation. Innovation not something which require research. I am saying innovation. Innovation in application, in planning, in learning. Innovation is implementation. Innovation in outputs and outcomes. It requires decision making. And if you do not make decisions, you will not make impact. And that is possible only through team building. So these, when you go during probation and independent charges, first few months can determine whether you succeed or fail. And that stamp will always be there and will carry that legacy throughout your career. Make it a point, you have to be success. And if you want to be success begins now. Success will or failure will determine the way your attitude is developed right from now. And that's what I want you to learn, how to go ahead with this. More on team building, You must have shared this, so I will not go in details, but these are all the things you require to team build, success stories of others, learn from them, hear from them, tell your own success story in personal or college life, whatever you have, experience sharing, of course, dialogues, communication are important, listening post, very crucial. आजकाल सोशल मीडिया वापरतो, राईट पोस्ट भरपूर असतात, मीडियम ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. Open door policy, always welcome the visitors, interact with them, you will come to know what exactly lies in the ground, on the ground. Multi-stake dialogue, important. We never make it, and that we don't embrace the changes. So these are the tools by which you can definitely build a team, not only of your office, with your higher ups, with your surroundings, in the society, including industrialists, entrepreneurs, pharmacies, fodder developers, cattle rearers, multiple stakeholders, and that's where you have to build a team. All this, what I told now, will make you able to solve the problems. What do problems tell you? Any problem? No. Do they tell anything? Sorry? Challenges. It actually makes you meet yourself. What level you are. Do they? Unless you face a challenge, you will not question yourself what level I am. Yes or no? Yes. You should welcome the. Do they introduce us to others? What problem does he or what problem my boss has? What problem society has? What problem farmer has? So they will introduce to others as well. Do they open us with opportunities? So problem आपण नेहमी नाही का म्हणतो मग? Do we say, or do we welcome? You have to build a habit of welcoming problems. That's where your real character will come out. Are you getting me? Yes, or feeling hungry? So be yourself. Everybody is unique in its own way. What does it mean? Reflection, introspection. If you are not reflecting on yourself, you will not come to know yourself. And if you do not come to know yourself, you cannot lead yourself. And if you cannot lead yourself, how can you lead others? Can you? आपण काय म्हणतो त्याचा प्रॉब्लेम त्याला सॉल्व्ह करता येत नाही, दुसऱ्याचं काय सांगतो. So face the problems, know yourself, lead yourself, make a habit of leading yourself, acquire the capabilities, skill sets to be a public servant, you will be able to lead others and you have a chance to become a leader. Now, last of all, I have told all leadership qualities. Being a civil servant, you need to build, imbibe, practice day in and day out certain values which must have been taught during 1 month's time. Maybe it's a repetition, but just understand this. Does it make sense? What does it mean? Integrity means what? Integrity means what? Anybody? My definition थोडक्यात दिली आहे, पण what does it actually means? Yes, you have to, as I told you, you have to keep public problems above yourself. Public, individual versus collective good, public good, societal versus individual benefits, all this, always public. But what exactly does it mean? When you say integrity, what does it mean? Anybody can tell me the meaning of integrity etymologically? Anybody? Yes.
नमस्कार सर, माझं नाव डॉक्टर अबोली कथे. मला असं वाटतंय की इंटेग्रिटी म्हणजे जी आपली कर्तव्य आहेत, जी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आहे पब्लिकच्या प्रती, ती पहिली असायला पाहिजे, ना की आपले पर्सनल जे म्हणजे दिवस.
आय एम आस्किंग इंटेग्रिटी मीनिंग. यू आर टेलिंग ॲज अ पब्लिक सर्व्हंट. येस.
नो सर, पण मला असं वाटतं की जसं कर्तव्य हे सुद्धा एक इंटेग्रिटी म्हणून आपण हे करू शकतो.
ओके. सो इट बेसिकली मीन्स युअर बॉडी, सोल and mind should be in the same place. It means your thoughts, your words, your behavior and your action should be the same. You should not contradict each other. So integrity as a person with the public profession should be, as a person, as a profession should be the same. Your value system should be the same. Your honesty as a person, honesty as a profession. Honesty as a transparent, professional as a transparent. Non-corrupt as a value in personal, in a profession. That's what integrity means. That's why putting public interest above all and individual interest last. So it should reflect your personality in individual as well as professional capacity. That's what integrity. That's the most important value of a civil servant. Honesty, being truthful and open, not only to others but to yourself and others. Both. Non-negotiable. These are all non-negotiable. Absolutely no compromise on any of these principles. Objectivity, as I was telling you. Absolutely objective. You have to make a decision on the basis of merits, rigorous analysis of data. Unfortunately, decision making is very, very superfluous. You don't apply data. You don't apply rigorous parameter. You don't really analyze data. You have to analyze what we call evidence-based decision making. That's what it is expected. So whenever there is a conflict of interest or multiple choices, how do you make choices? Data analysis, information, knowledge, actual numbers, put it down, and then you will come to know then, and then give advice or take decision on that basis. That's what you are supposed to do as a public servant. Absolute impartiality. Absolute. No deviation. Merits of the case as per the law, not on the basis of somebody's personal views or political views or whatever it is. No. That's what you are not. And one I could not keep it, it's courage. Last one, slide मध्ये मला टाकता नाही आलं. The last one is the courage you should have, moral, ethical, legal. That courage to take decision, courage to be conviction oriented, courage to say no, courage to be honest. That's what you are required. These are the core values of being a civil servant. You really cannot compromise on this. Do you get me? So do you at least getting the sense that what leadership is all about? When I started, you started, you were very happy. I don't know whether you are happy or not. You think too serious now. You are taking it as a burden. If you take this as a burden, you will not excel. As I said, you have to challenge, you have to go beyond yourself. Leadership is going beyond yourself. What you call in parlance, Shiv Shankar knows, level 5 leadership. This goes beyond yourself. Right? ज्याला आपण अफलातून असं म्हणतो, एखादा ऍक्टिंग काय अफलातून ऍक्टिंग केली, सेम आहे अफलातून. Go beyond yourself. We expect that. We expect wisdom from you, just not knowledge. We expect wisdom of a 50-year-old person, experience of a 40-year, and salary of a 20-year person. But don't count salary. Salary is just one part. Status you get, other benefits you get is much larger. You are serving the public. You are working on behalf of, say, if I am a secretary, I am working on behalf of 12 crore people of Maharashtra. That's the capacity of working on behalf of the state, which is rare honor to anybody. And if you really pride in that, then only you can grow as a leader, grow as a person, grow as a professional. That's what the leadership is. I have been asked many times, what do you do in crisis? You have to rise up. But how do you do that when there are difficult choices? And there will be, maybe not at LDO level, but there will be difficult choices as you go up and up. In critical situation, you will be posed with many situations in personal life and professional lives. What do you do? And I have followed certain principles. I have designed my own principles in a way. If there is really critical situation, I have to make a choice. I ask 3 questions to myself. The first question, being a civil servant or a public servant, is it legal? Because you are not bound to go beyond legality. You are bound by legality, whatever, whether you like it or not. Is it legal? So there is no compromise on this. You have to perform your legal duties within the 4 corners of the law. No questions raised. If you have some questions, raise to the policy maker, get the law changed. But till the moment law is there, you have to implement. You cannot go. So the first question you have to ask, whenever you found in any crisis, is it legal? If it is not legal, question mark, matter ends there. If the answer to this question is yes, it is legal, then ask the second question. And the second question is it moral or immoral? And when I say moral, immoral, both publicly and individually, collectively and individual level, organization and institution level, not just your individual. If the question to this question can be either public morality or individual morality, it can be either yes or no. If the yes, obviously there is no question. If the no question is the answer is there, then go for a third question. Is it in public interest or is it in individual interest? And if the answer of the three, first one is right, and of the any of the remaining two is yes, you can take that decision very clearly without any fear. Yes, that's the right decision. Because if the decision is morally correct, yes, it cannot be individual centric, it has to be public centric. Or if it is a public interest, it cannot be public immoral. Public interest and morality most of the time go hand in hand. Sometimes it may go against each other. Because again, perception, morality, immorality, this morality is basically is a bigger question. It's a sort of philosophical question. But that guide what is desirable. That's why legality is there. At the same time, you have to understand what is desirable. That's why these three questions I have framed for myself. You can think over these lines. So when a deeper crisis comes in and you have to solve a problem where there is a huge pressure from multiple stakeholders, what call should I take as a public servant? These are the questions you ask and you will get the answers. Now the question is, do you have these qualities and do you have courage and conviction to practice these principles in your professional or personal life? Answer to this question will make you either a leader or a manager or average, just a common human being. Now you have to decide whether you want to be a leader or average person. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Chetan Shimbekar. Actually, sir, my question is, after you came from your IAS training, how come you inbuilt all these qualities, or have you gone through any other certain training programs during your entire career? That's actually it inspires us a lot after looking at you. So what things you are following in your daily routine? That's the personal question maybe. Yeah, but it would be more valuable for us. Thank you.
As I said, one of the qualities you should have to grow is keep learning and accelerate learning. That's what I said. So that is the basic thing you have to have. That attitude, that approach of accelerating learning, keep reading. Yes, training I attend, but it's not something intentional. Every IAS officer attend. He also attends, I attend, everybody attends. You will also be attending and doing training sessions. But it's a learning ability and learning habit that will make a difference. By attending training, you are not going to be good or great. By learning, you are going to, whether it's experience, working, interacting, reading, attending training, all this comes under it. Now, if you are open to ideas, as I said, open door policy, open to listen and trying to solve the problem, and ready to accept the mistakes and overcome it, you will grow as a person, as a professional, as a reader. Now, to do that, you require courage, you require convictions. These are the principles. Now, you have to decide whether you want to follow principles. And for me, more than principles, I have certain values which I practice. I want to lead a value-based life. And values are above all. Principles come secondary. Values come first. And those are core values. As I told, some of the core values of civil servant. But as a person, as an individual, what values do you cherish? What values do you practice? That is important. Just to give an anecdote, when I go to Missouri, we just go foundation, then go to phase 1, then we have district training, and then we have again phase 2. That is what general 2 years training program for IAS officers. So I had come from Missouri, and then Yeshada for 15, I think 1 month, then we had Maharashtra Darshan, and then we go to district. So I had got Solapur at that point in time. Floods were there. And my divisional commissioner was Kuruntkar. Bapu. So floods were there. He said, yes, now you go directly. No waiting. So इथून बस स्टँडला गेलो शिवाजीनगरला, तिथून बस पकडली, फ्लड होते, डायरेक्ट पंढरपूरला जायचं सांगितलं. वेन देअर, रात्री 9 वाजेपर्यंत पोहोचलो, ते गेस्ट हाऊसला थांबलो. There was some assistant collector there. आणि 2-8 दिवस ते काही फ्लडचं चाललं. त्याच्यानंतर सोलापूरला गेलो. सोलापूरला गेल्यानंतर ऑफकोर्स कलेक्टर तिथं होतेच पंढरपूरला फ्लड असल्यामुळे. फ्लड मॅनेजमेंट शिकलो, ऑफिस प्रोसिजर शिकलो, 6 बंडल सिस्टम मी त्या दिवशी पहिल्या याच्यामध्ये मी शिकलो. मला ते तत्कालीन असिस्टंट कलेक्टर जे होते मुथुकृष्णन, मला 2-3 वर्ष सिनियर आहेत ते तिथं. त्यांनी मला पहिल्या दिवशी मला त्यांना विचारलं की हाऊ ट्रॅकिंग कसं करायचं, की किती ॲप्लिकेशन येतात, कुणाचं पेंडिंग आहे. आणि मग ते 6 बंडल सिस्टम सांगितलं. अँड दॅट आय कंटिन्यू प्रॅक्टिसिंग दॅट इन माय डेली लाईफ, इन द सेन्स ऑफिस लाईफमध्ये जे आहे तो पेंडन्सी कधी राहणार नाही. लोक म्हणतात माझं एवढं पेंडिंग आहे, डिसिजन मेकिंग क्विक, पेंडन्सी नाही राहिली की ऑटोमॅटिकली फरक पडतो. 6 बंडल सिस्टम ऑफिस प्रोसिजर कम इन प्लेस वेदर दॅट्स व्हाय आय लर्न. वन्स आय वेंट टू सोलापूर आणि मग अटॅचमेंट चालू झाल्या. सो देर वॉज तहसीलदार नॉर्थ सोलापूर. तिथं सोलापूरमध्ये नॉर्थ आणि साऊथ सोलापूर असे 2 तालुके म्हणजे सिटीचाच पार्ट असल्यामुळे तो फ्रॉम समवेअर आय गॉट इन्फॉर्मेशन की बार चालू आहे, लेडी बार चालू आहे, डान्स बार चालू आहे. आणि तहसीलदारवर चर्चा केली तर मला येस चालू आहे, पण तिथं काही आपल्याला आपण काही करू शकत नाही कारण दॅट बिलॉंग्स टू सम एक्स बिग पर्सन हुज हू. म्हणलं का तरी तुम्हाला बंदी घातली का? नाही आहे. मग रेड का करत नाही म्हटलं. बिकॉज इफ इट इज इलिगल, लेडीज बार आहे, पैसे देता घेता येत नाहीत, तुम्ही का करत नाही? त्यांना नो वी डोंट हॅव प्रोटेक्शन. व्हॉट प्रोटेक्शन डू फॉर? कलेक्टरने तुम्हाला नाही सांगितलं? कायदा सांगतो नाही म्हणाला का तुम्हाला त्यांच्याकडून हप्ता भेटतोय? व्हॉट एक्झॅक्टली डज हॅट हॅपन? म्हणजे असं काही नाही. मग लेट अस डू इट. तुम्ही येता बरोबर, येतो, मला काही अडचण नाही. सो आय डिस्कस विथ द कलेक्टर, बिईंग अ प्रोफेशनल आय डिस्कस की अशी माहिती आहे आणि वी वॉन्ट टू डू दिस थिंग. कलेक्टर सेड गो हॅड. त्या रात्री आम्ही रेड केली. रेड तुम्हाला कॅमेरा घेऊन जाता येत नाही कारण ते ओळखणार, म्हणून मी आपला मोबाईल होता असं बोलण्यासारखं केलं, त्याच्यातून शूटिंग करत होतो. लेडीज तुमच्या डान्स करतात, पैसे देतात, एव्हरीथिंग. रात्री केलं, सील झालं, जो हंगाम व्हायचा तो झाला. दुसऱ्या दिवशी ते सगळीकडे झालं कारण ते एका मोठ्या लिटरेचर होते. ऑब्विसली ही वॉज मिनिस्टर ॲट दॅट पॉईंट इन टाइम, सिटिंग मिनिस्टर, त्यांचा तो बार होता. कलेक्टरवरती दुसऱ्या दिवशी भडीमार. प्रोफेशनलला रेड करण्याचे अधिकार आहेत का? सुरुवातीतून लिगल. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन लिगल. मला तू उत्तर द्यायचं नव्हतं, मग कलेक्टर, कारण कलेक्टरची परमिशन घेतली होती. कलेक्टरने काय उत्तर दिलं त्यांना? काय? प्रोफेशनल रेड केलेली नाही, तहसीलदारने केलेली. ऑफकोर्स. मग दुसरा प्रश्न, एसपीने का केलं नाही? त्यांच्याकडे माहित नसेल. एसपी नाही मस्त जसं माहीत झालं, तिथले ते PI पासून याच्यापर्यंत सस्पेंड व्हायची वेळ आली. तुम्हाला माहित नाही, प्रोफेशनल येतो, रेड करतो, तो तुम्हाला काय माहित नाही? व्हॉट द हेल एव्हर डू. त्याच्यानंतर तो बंद झाला. डेलीज ऑलमोस्ट 50,000 1 लाख कलेक्शन काहीतरी होत असेल. सो द फर्स्ट एनिमी आय क्रिएटेड विदिन द फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ माय जॉइनिंग. नाउ डू यू हॅव द करेज अँड कन्विक्शन टू डू दॅट इज द क्वेश्चन. Not for individual interest, for public interest, for implementing the law. That is the answer. First thing you have to see is it's very difficult to answer any question straight jacket in leadership. Right? For example, तुम्हाला असं वाटतं असेल की अशी ड्रेसिंग सेन्स काय? ज्यावेळेस मी होतो त्यावेळेस एवढं विचित्र ड्रेसिंग सेन्स होता माझा. यू विल नॉट बिलीव्ह इट. बट नाव आय एम व्हेरी क्लिअर कट की नाही, माझा ड्रेसिंग सेन्स सुद्धा चांगला पाहिजे. बिकॉज यू आर पब्लिक सर्वंट. की पब्लिक सर्वंट किंवा गव्हर्नमेंटमध्ये गचाळच पाहिजे असं काही नियम आहे का? हां, कारण तुम्ही आपलं कार्यालय म्हटलं की थुंकलेलंच असलं पाहिजे अशीची भूमिका ही का? वाय? असं का असतं? मी ज्या ज्या ठिकाणी काम केलं त्या ठिकाणच्या कार्यालयामध्ये थुंकी कोणी दाखवून द्यायची, माझं ओपन चॅलेंज आहे. कायदा आहे, 100 रुपये फाईन करता येतो, आपलेच लोक करतात, आणि तुम्ही तिथं बसलेला आहे असं सांगता, अरे तुम्ही का करत नाही? What the hell it is? Lead by example. Don't tolerate indiscipline. कार्यालय स्वच्छ करण्यासाठी तुमच्याकडे पैसे आहेत, PN आहेत, स्वच्छ ठेवलेले आहेत, मग स्वच्छ का होत नाही, राहत नाही? का राहत नाही? कन्व्हिक्शन, सिंपल. काय लागतं त्यासाठी? तुम्ही आज या ड्रेसमध्ये चांगले दिसता असं मला वाटतं. जस्ट इमॅजिन पहिल्या दिवशी तुमचा फोटो काढून बघा आणि आता पण तुम्ही ग्रुप फोटो काढायचा, कधी बघायचं दोन्ही गोष्टी, यू विल फील द डिफरन्स. मी ज्या ज्या ठिकाणी काम केलं त्या प्रत्येक ठिकाणी कोणी खुश हो की न हो, 1-2 लोक खुश झालेले. नंबर 1 तिथला टेलर, आणि आय एम नॉट जोकिंग. मला एक वेळेस म्हणजे प्रोबेशनमध्ये मी माड्याला व्हिडिओ होतो आणि 26 जानेवारी आला होता. म्हणजे आमच्या पोस्टिंगचा असा ज्यावेळेस पहिला अटॅचमेंटमध्ये असतो, इंडिपेंडंट असतो. 26 जानेवारीला मी कंपल्सरी केलं प्रोबेशनमध्ये. बंद गळा घालून यायचा, ब्लॅक शूज विथ लेस. मगाचा कोणतरी आला त्याने ब्लॅक शूज घातलेला नाही, ब्राऊन आहे. पहिला बोलणारा जो होता कोण. मला जाता ज्यावेळेस निरोप द्यायचा वेळ आला तो तिथे आला, तो कोण, कपड्याचा दुकानदार, शूजवाला. तुम्ही साहेब इथंच राहा. म्हणलं का? म्हणून आमचा धंदा खूप वाढला. नाव द क्वेश्चन इज, तिथून पुढे आतापर्यंत तिथे ते जेवढे कर्मचारी ते अजूनही छाती ठोकपणे बंद गळा घालतात. दॅट इज व्हॉट इज एक्सपेक्टेड. कल्चर, कन्व्हिक्शन. आणि फक्त माड्यात सांगत नाही, ज्या ज्या ठिकाणी मी राहिलो त्या त्या ठिकाणी झालं. म्हणजे ज्या ठिकाणी मी पोस्टेड 1 मे, 15 ऑगस्ट किंवा 26 जानेवारीला असेल त्या ठिकाणी हे कंपल्सरी झालेलं आहे. इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ कन्व्हिक्शन. If you really in public service decide to do it and if you are convicted about it, you can do it. Question is, do you want to do it?
वाशीला असताना सर, कमिशनर असताना तिथे एका म्हाताऱ्याबाईचं झोपडी पाडली होती आपण. वाशीला असताना
बार्शी.
हा, तर तुम्ही आणि एक सोलापूरला कलेक्टर असताना सोलापूरला पाणी, उजनीच्या धरणाचं पाणी सोलापूरला आलंच पाहिजे असं पॉलिटिकल खूप प्रेशर होतं. तुम्ही दडपण कसं हँडल करता, थोडं वैयक्तिक मला थोडं सांगा.
अगेन कन्व्हिक्शन तुम्ही जर बघितलं तर ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह काय? ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह आहे की सोलापूरला पाणी द्यायचा, हा ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह होता. कायदा काय सांगतो की उजनी धरण 8 माई धरण आहे, म्हणजे मार्च नंतर पाणी सोडण्याचा प्रश्न येत नाही नियमानुसार आणि कायद्यानुसार. ऑफकोर्स प्रॅक्टिस वेगळी जरी असेल तर पण ऍक्च्युअल तो कायदा आहे का धरणच 8 माई आहे. धरण 8 माई तर 12 माई पाणी सोडण्याचा प्रश्न येत नाही. पहिला लिगल प्रश्न तिथं उत्तर जरा लिगलवर कोणी काही बोलू शकत नाही. लिगल आन्सर त्याचं भेट. ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह काय? मॉरल आणि पब्लिक. तर सोलापूरच्या शहराला पाणी पुरवठा करण्यासाठी उजनीमधून पाणी खालच्या धरणापर्यंत जातं आणि तिथून पाणी लिफ्ट केलं जातं, हा त्याच्यातला इश्यू आहे. मग म्हटलं हा जर प्रॉब्लेम आहे तर उजनी धरणातून पाईपलाईन काय येत नाही डायरेक्टली? सोलापूरला पाणी देणं एवढाच विषय ना, ते नदीतून सोडा पाहिजे असं काही नियम नाही. यू कॅन डिरेक्टली गो फॉर पाईपलाईन. कारण दरवर्षी इतकं मेट्रिक टन तुमचं MLD पाणी जातं तिथं, सोडावं लागतं उन्हाळ्यामध्ये. त्या पाण्याच्या कितीतरी काहीतरी 1-2% सुद्धा पाणी शहराला भेटत नाही. कारण पाणी ऑफकोर्स इव्हॅपोरेशन लॉसेस आहेत, बाकीचे लॉसेस आहेत, मूर्त आहे, ऑल सेड अँड डन. त्याच्यावरती पूर्ण ऊसाची शेती चालते, तिथून लिफ्टिंग होतं, हे सगळ्या गोष्टी आहेत. तर ज्यावेळेस मी कलेक्टर म्हणून तिथे जॉईन झालो होतो त्यावेळेस मी पहिला प्रश्न, इथला सर्वात मेजर प्रॉब्लेम माझा मी हातात घेतला होता. कारण तो तुम्ही आता हातात कसा घ्यायचा तुमचं कन्व्हिक्शन आहे की नाही. सोलापूर DPAP जिल्हा आहे, ड्रॉट प्रोन एरिया प्रोजेक्ट म्हणजे म्हणतो. इथं सगळ्या जिल्ह्यात 13 तालुके काहीतरी आहेत, त्याच्यापैकी 11 तालुके त्याचे ड्रॉट प्रोन मधले आहेत, म्हणजे पाऊस तिथं मिनिमम आहे. ॲट द सेम टाइम इंडियामधला सर्वात जास्त शुगर केन फॅक्टरी असलेला सुद्धा जिल्हा आहे. हे कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन नाही आहे का? दिस इज वॉट आय स्टार्टेड वर्किंग फ्रॉम डे 1. हे कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन मला कमी करायचं आहे. त्याचाच परिणाम म्हणून तिथं दुसऱ्या बाजूला दरवर्षी 500-700 टँकर पण लागत होते पियाच्या पाण्याला. म्हणजे सर्वात जास्त ऊसाचं क्षेत्र तिथं, सर्वात जास्त शुगर फॅक्टरीज तिथं, सर्वात मोठं धरण तिथं, सर्वात टँकरही जास्त तिथं. एवढे कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन एका जिल्ह्यात कसे असू शकतात? हा समथिंग नॉट गॉन रॉंग either in the policy or implementation? And who is responsible for the district? Ownership. I took the ownership. I said मला हा प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह करायचा. I started working on it and did solve to a certain extent. जे काय मला 17-18 महिन्यामध्ये did solve. तुम्ही जो प्रश्न विचारला त्याचं काय केलं पैसे, ते डिमांड होतं. म्हणलं मी सोडणार नाहीये. का सोडणार नाही? कारण लिगली तुम्ही बाउंड नाही आहेत. मला याला पाणी द्यायचं, त्याचं कसं करायचं बघतो मी. आय टॅकल दॅट प्रॉब्लेम. म्हणून NTPCचा तिथं प्रोजेक्ट चालू होता नॅशनल. आता तो प्रोजेक्ट सुरू झालेला आहे NTPCचा. त्याला उजनीमधून पाणी प्रोसेसिंग म्हणजे त्यांचं प्लांटसाठी वापरायचं होतं. आणि त्यांना कलेक्टरची ऑफकोर्स लँड ॲक्विशन पासून सगळ्यासाठी गरज लागते, कारण तो प्रोजेक्ट सुद्धा 7-8 वर्षापासून पेंडिंग होता. लँड ॲक्विशन रोडच्या बाजून शेतकरी अडवत होते. मीटिंग झाली, त्यांना म्हणलं मी तुमच्या लँड ॲक्विशनचे प्रॉब्लेम मी सोडतो. दॅट इज माय रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. 15 दिवसात तुमचे प्रॉब्लेम सोडले जातील. तुम्ही जी पाईपलाईन करताय त्याचं पाणी शहराला द्यायचं आणि शहरामधलं जे सिवेज वेस्ट होईल त्याचं प्रोसेस पाणी तुम्ही घ्यायचं, हे अग्रीमेंट करा. त्यांच्याबरोबर अग्रीमेंट केली. म्हणून मला नवीन पाईपलाईन करण्याची गरज पडली नाही. NTPCला जी पाईपलाईन जाणार होती त्याचं डायरेक्टली पाणी उडणे धरणाचं NTPCला जाण्याच्या ऐवजी शहराला भेटेल. आणि शहराचं STP मधलं जे पाणी असेल त्याचं त्या लेवलचं प्रोसेसिंग करायचं आणि ते प्रोसेसिंगचं पाणी त्यांना द्यायचं. म्हणजे त्यांना जे पाहिजे ते पाणी भेटणार. गव्हर्नमेंटचं कन्करन्स घेतलं, ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टरचं, त्याच्यामध्ये ऑफिशियली घेतलं. एव्हरीबडी वॉज ऑन विनिंग प्लेट. काम सुरू झालं, त्यांचं पाईपलाईनचं काम कंप्लीट होत आलं, आणि इकडे हा प्रश्न आला, मला मी सोडणार नाही का, तुम्हाला पाणी द्यायचं उदाहरण मी देतो. देन द पॉलिटिशियन्स मेड ह्यूज इश्यू, हुएवर, ऑफकोर्स तिथं शेतकरी होते, दे वेंट टू हायकोर्ट. हायकोर्टाला मी दाखवलं 8 महिने 12 महिने नाही, हायकोर्टाने त्यांना फटकार मारले, लिगली साऊंड, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट. आता प्रश्न असा आहे की प्रेशर, याला तुम्ही प्रेशरहून बघितलं असतं त्याला हातच लावायचा नाही. हा प्रॉब्लेम होता, तो प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह करण्यासाठी ॲज अ लीडर दॅट्स युअर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. आर यू एबल टू टेक दॅट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अँड ओनरशिप ॲज अ पब्लिक सर्वंट इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन यू हॅव टू आस्क युअर सेल्फ. इफ यू आर ओनिंग सम प्रोजेक्ट यू हॅव टू थिंक इट थ्रू. पाणी द्यायचं नाही, सोडायचं नाही, हा विषयच नव्हता, विषय वेगळा आहे. यू हॅव टू अंडरस्टँड दॅट्स वाय ओनरशिप मी घेतली. पण त्या अनुषंगाने टँकर नव्हते का नव्हते, टँकर लागत होते का लागतात, 600-700 लागतात का लागतात, पाणी नाही, पाणी का नाही आहे, सोर्सच नाही. म्हणलं कुठे सोर्स नाही बघू आपण. पहिल्या वेळेस मागितलं, आपल्याला माहिती आहे, ज्यावेळेस करतो त्यावेळेस आपला तहसीलदार मार्फत रिपोर्ट येतात, BDO डेप्युटी इंजिनियर असतात, त्यांचा प्रत्येक गावामध्ये किती पाण्याचे सोर्स हे स्त्रोत. जे सुरू झालं त्यावेळेस 700 स्त्रोत दाखवले होते मला. म्हणलं 1 महिना घ्या, ते 1200 झाले. अजून 15 दिवस घ्या म्हटलं, 15,000 सोर्स झाले. एक्झिस्टिंग होते, रेकॉर्डला नव्हते, रेकॉर्डला आणायला लावले. तहसीलदारांनी मिटिंगला आले की आम्हाला टँकर पाहिजे. म्हणजे ठीक आहे, किती, एवढे टँकर पाहिजेत. तुमच्यापैकी किती जणांनी व्हिजिट केली? सगळ्यांनी केली. म्हणजे मी परत एक गोष्ट होतं, किती दिवस व्हिजिट केले? नाही सर, 8 दिवस द्या. 400 टँकरची मागणी 34 टँकरवर 8 दिवस तहसीलदारकडनंच. परत आले, किती पाहिजे? 34. कोणत्या गावात? ह्या गावात पाहिजे, एक्स गावामध्ये पाहिजे. म्हणजे ठीक आहे, किती क्षेत्र आहे? एवढं. बागायती किती आहे? 20 एकर. टँकर कशाला पाहिजे? गावात बागायती आहे म्हणजे विहीर आहे, टँकर कशाला पाहिजे? ओनरशिप. 15-16चा ड्राऊट होता, आठवत असेल तर तुम्हाला. ड्राऊटमध्ये 7 टँकर मी दिले होते, एकही चारा छावणी नव्हती. त्या ड्राऊट नंतर 15-16च्या म्हणजे 16च्या जूनमध्ये किंवा 15च्या जूनमध्ये पाऊस ज्यावेळेस पडला, वॉटर टेबल 1.5 मीटरनी वाढलेला होता. सो इट इज नॉट जस्ट रिलीज ऑफ वॉटर, इट इज होल वॉटर सेक्टर अँड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. प्रेशर कधी असतं त्याच्याकडे प्रॉब्लेम म्हणून बघितला असतं, अपॉर्च्युनिटी बघितली तो इश्यू मी ओनरशिप करतोय म्हणून. म्हणून पहिल्या दिवशी तुम्हाला जे सांगितलं होतं की तुम्ही ज्यावेळेस LDO जाता, तुमचे 20